Welcome once again to the Post-Trib Network. We're going to discuss here about the harvest and when the harvest is from Matthew 13, starting with verse 24. Jesus said, another parable he put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed a good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemies came and sowed tares amongst the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up, he brought forth fruit. Then appeared also tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. And the servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, at least, while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. But let them both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather you together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Now, this parable here, Jesus, in the same chapter, he explains to them what that parable means. Because it says in verse 36, Then Jesus sent a multitude away and went into the house. Disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. And he answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. And the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. And therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire. So shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of the Father. Who have an ear, let him hear. Now Jesus says right here that they are to grow together. That means the tares and the wheat cannot be separated. That means they cannot be separated before the end of this world, it says. So there's no way possible that we can be raptured out of here before the end of the world. Just like the tares cannot be taken out before the end of the world. He said, let them both grow together. The tares and the wheat, the believers and non-believers, the righteous and the wicked. Let them grow together until the harvest. So, that this chapter here, what this parable here that Jesus spoke about here in Matthew 13 shows us very clearly. There's no way possible for us to be raptured out of here before the end of the world. To be raptured out of here, because it says also the tares, the wicked, are reaped first. So when Jesus Christ comes, it is the wicked that's going to be reaped. And that happens at the end of the world, or the end of this age. It talks about where it shows very clearly that you or I are not going anywhere until this event, this parable here, takes place, to what Jesus Christ says right here in this chapter in Matthew 13. So, take time to really study that out. He explains what everything is, word for word. He tells you who it is that soweth the good seed, which is Jesus. He's the Son of Man. He tells us who it is that soweth the wicked ones, the tares, which is the devil. He tells us when this is going to happen. He says the harvest is the end of the world. Nobody goes out and plants a wheat field and goes and harvests it before it's ready. They don't harvest any of it until the time that it's ready. And when it's ready, then that's when you go in and you harvest it. I don't know if you've ever noticed on a wheat field, but I'm from Oklahoma, and one thing interesting about a wheat field is when you plant a wheat field and it starts to spring up, it all looks the same. You can't tell the what's good and what's bad at first, because it's starting to grow up. But one thing about a wheat field, when it springs up, there's something that happens with the wheat. The wheat will slightly bow over. Next time you drive past a wheat field, look over. You're going to see it bowing over. See, a wheat field bows. It'll bow over. It'll bend over. But the tare, what's not good, won't do that. A weed don't do that. So when you stop and you look at a wheat field, you're going to see some bend over, some not. That's where a farmer knows what to keep and what to burn, what to get rid of. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Whenever if you ever get a chance, look at a wheat field and you'll see that happening. And we see that with a believer and non-believer. A believer will bow over. A believer will bow to the Lord. A non-believer will not. But if you just stick with Scripture, you can see very clearly that it is the tares that are reaped first. They are to grow up together. The wicked, the tares, and the righteous, the wheat, are to grow up together until the harvest. And a harvest, he said, is the end of the world. Now, if you're going to get raptured out of here 7 years or 3.5 years before, that's not the end of the world. That's not the last day that we talked about in my last video. So you really got to stop and look at that. So take time to study Matthew 13, and you're going to see when these events take place, and you're going to find out you're not going to go anywhere until this here takes place, because it says that the righteous is led to shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. I hope that you have heard this, and I hope that this helps further your studies to see the truth about us going through the tribulation and Jesus sending forth the reapers, the angels, at the end of the world, the last day, when all this will take place. Hope this has helped. God bless.